And we are live! Welcome to our Listers channel. I am a person who goes by the name Listers. Here today with me is Scotland Man 42069.
Hello.
Yeah, today we're just playing some of my favourite game, Age of Empires 2, because, quite frankly, I want to play something and I want to stream something because at this point I just want to have some fun because I'm just feeling down, Svegan, Svegan. You gotta have something because sometimes in the world you just look at it and you're like, uh, but Age of Empires 2 has, on the other hand, never let me down. Um, I'm trying to remember how what the build was again. Yeah, those are the things I build. Yeah, the build order. Sorry, you might notice. I don't know how long it's been since I last streamed Age of Empires 2 multiplayer, but I do have a build order. And if you look at it, this is not the meta build order. And the reason it's not meta build order is for some reason in the game, if you start on deathmatch mode, which we have to because Scotland Man has a limited schedule, we don't start with berry bushes or sheep or even deer. So I need to adapt. It's fine. It's a way of telling you that you start with more resources than you think, but it also means that I can't just look at everything and just go that is how I play. I'm just going to play the normal way I do and make adaptations later. Uh, you are on that side. I still feel like I have seen this seed before. I don't know why. I'm looking at that one corner of the map and I'm like, I know this place. Oh, crap. Either way, hopefully some like usual age vampires will cheer me up. I think last time I played this map, I played as the Britons, which were my old build, and I remembered why I loved them so much. However, now I'm just playing with as the Persians, which I found have the best boom, which probably, yeah, I'm playing on deathmatch mode, and maybe that's to be expected. But we also can't let it go on too long because Scotland Man has a limited schedule, and we've kind of started quite late at night.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Just put that there to make sure that we got we got things. I don't even know if I'm doing this right. My head has just decided. Yeah, all of your build order, just throw it out the window. At the very least, I have houses. Uh, I need to remember why I did that. Right. So, as Persians, my priority is food and wood. So this will unfortunately be a rather boring strategy I go as, because everybody who's played Age of Empires will know the fury of elephants. Elephants really, they never really nerfed elephants in games, did they?
I would say they're definitely nerfed in comparison to what they used to be in Age of Empires 1. Age of Empires 1
Yeah,
was ridiculous.
definitely.
Like, you could just win by producing elephants. There's nothing that
Yeah.
could, even the animals are just designed to take them down.
Mm,
Just camels, we just didn't have it in them to do it.
yeah.
It took a whole like 1,000 years for them to discover man with stick is pretty good against the elephant.
Yeah. The most prevalent thing in the ancient world, man with stick. But man with stick just somehow hadn't been trained against elephants yet, despite the fact it was really the heyday of the elephant. You know?
After being both more abundant and also like a rare novelty, you see an elephant that's pretty intimidating.
Oh yeah, definitely. What do I need to build? Oh yeah, everything. But yeah, Svein, here's the thing, if like I know that during Svein Rome, Svein elephants were the Svein the big scary when Hannibal crossed the Alps, and but it was enough to drive away the noobs. But
Yeah.
yeah, like, and I do think that like anti-elephant tactics, like anti-chariot tactics, did have to evolve, like because Svein, the average man with stick, oddly enough, like the average man with stick was probably less well trained in the Middle
Yeah,
Ages than
pretty scary.
yeah,
Like an elephant is pretty terrifying to even a guy who's determined enough with a stick. You're dealing with a creature that is like it's got two giant pointy bits on it. It's got armor on it, like natural armor. Its skin's like an inch thick, so good luck with your steel spear even getting through that.
yeah, that.
It makes a huge noise. It's got basically an arm on its face that can like easily grab you and grab your weapon.
Mm. Thank you for
And,
the
and it can and it can stomp you to death.
yeah, thank you for the hugs, one trainee too. I will say I am very, in my opinion, I am very hug deprived. I could do with more hugs. So thank you for the hugs. And
I think everyone can do with more hugs.
yeah, honestly, like hugging's underrated.
Yeah.
To the end of I do feel like I do feel like a good hug really could give comfort in trying times. Honestly.
Well, it does. I would definitely say it does.
Mm. Do that and hope my villager doesn't wall themselves in, which sounds like something that they would do. Right. Could try plushies. They kind of help sometimes, to be honest. The thing is, I do have plushies. Like even the little Fumo I have on my screen is that I do actually have a Fumo somewhere. In fact, the the little plushie that Thingy gave me for Christmas. The person that Scotland Man was teaching me and another person art at one point, and the other person that we were who was being taught actually bought me a little plushie of Miku that's actually over there right now. So like, yeah, it's like they do they do certainly help a lot more than having nothing. I will admit. But yeah, it's the. I've honestly like been trying to think of different ways of making plushies more huggable. Just like it's just one of those things of like I don't know what the difference is between like being able to like for example like I have a pet rabbit, right? So it's like I have something that I can technically hug, even if I hug it too much, it runs away. Um, but at the same time, it's like yeah, I do think that's probably why we have plushies a lot these days, honestly, because you know society needs more hugs. you know.
Yeah, the internet's done a number.
It has.
Like,
Uh, I'm now at the point where I'm considering whether or not I should build more houses. Caravanserai. You know what? Instead of houses, why not I build a massive wall? I don't know if I want to finish that wall. At the very least, like, it'll give our trade some protection.
like a little love heart.
Yeah.
Like you do your hands.
Yeah.
Click on the mini map.
Yeah. I like that actually.
At least I see it.
Yeah, I see that. It's like, I can't. I'm going to move my model out the way just to show people very briefly. If you look at the, I need to change view. Yeah, apparently I can't change view. Okay, okay. Point to it. This little where I'm putting my hand, just little love heart in the shape of a wall. So yeah, at the very least, well, at the very least I'm well protected as well as having houses. I just need to make sure that I produce enough thingies as well. Right. Still feel odd sometimes. It's like, yes, you have this amount of villagers. How do I have this amount of villagers? I think it's honestly my trade.
I don't think your trade capital is villagers. Like, I
I
could be
think it.
wrong.
I think it does.
Are you sure? Oh, wait, maybe. Actually,
I, it does distinguish them in in certain ways, but like they still show up in the idle villager thing. Oh yeah, better castles. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit down. Oh, Rick, it's one of those. It's one of those days. It's like, although I was playing thingy with you earlier, which was, a good thing. It's just generally it's one of those things of like you stare a little bit too much into the state of the world, and it just, you're just reminded of, yeah, the world just stares back, like in his, yeah, it's like you got to not sometimes you got to not let yourself get overwhelmed by the darkness. I kind of did today, and it's just one of those things of like, this is, I end up looking at something that all of my problems with the world are, I saw it a reflection of, you know, and it's like, yeah, yep, you stare into the abyss, yeah, stared into the abyss, it stared back, and it's just the whole thing of every problem I have, like, and yeah, honestly, it's good to it's good to have you because it's like but at least being able to play that game earlier that we played was actually quite a fun bit. It just unfortunately I was also low energy while playing it of just being like I learned how to play it and it was fun and it just I just was low energy when I did it, so it really didn't help when speaking. I made South Africa just a little bit too angry, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, like although I hadn't quite stared into the abyss, it's been a low energy day and low energy and low headspace. You know how it can get sometimes, and if you just have the one thing that breaks, and unfortunately, it's a piece of news that you have to read, right? It's like you don't really, if you don't, then you'll find out later, kind of thing. It's fun. Then you got locked, and I avenged you violently. You avenged me very violently. You avenged me in a blink of an eye. It's like just hey, look at South Africa. Now you see it. Now you don't. And then you
What was
proceeded.
this?
There is there is a game, little. It's a little It's actually a really small game that can be played on the web page. I just need to quickly have a look at it. Um, my open front, right? I like my map painting games. Open front is a really simple map painting game where you start up as a little city almost, and you build cities and ports. As well as nuclear missiles, and your goal is to multiple yeah
Oh,
multiple MIRVs saying like legitimately Hawkrick built nuclear weapons that I think both the North America and South America dropped a significant bomb of destruction on. I
nice.
don't
I
even
didn't
know.
realize it was a Hawkrick I was talking to.
Oh yeah, nah, it's Hawkrick,
Ah,
yeah.
good to hear you, huh? Ages.
Yeah, yeah,
Gestures at the absolute, like, I'm not even gonna say it's a comedy of a world right now. It's worse. It's like a
yeah,
depressingly sad joke.
yeah. Sometimes it really do be like that, and it's one of those things of like, it's worse when you have some hope, and then the world happens to that hope.
Mm,
uh,
true.
which is exactly how I felt, because it really was something to be hopeful about.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Yeah. But, as it goes. But Hawking introduced me to that game, and the problem is that I literally when learning how to play that game, right, I literally did well in pretty much every game except for the one that I played with Hawkeye as well. Man, life goes fast. There's a lot of stuff going on, and us two no more than many that this too shall pass. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things that I feel, you know, it's one of those things of like, when you start to when you start to make when there seems to be like the world can move into, oh yeah, when we found cactus, that was that I still think that was like an exceptional miracle. When we saw cactus that day, like that must have been a blessing, because and that really did that not only made my day, right? That made my friggin' month, So like, I've been I've been so happy that like we're back in contact with them, and the fact that we that means that we can do more. It's like we've got things that we can plan, to do, and I feel really, yeah. For every horror we see, there's a random example of absolute weird that just snaps us out of it. Yeah, yeah, there is. Like it is one of those things. If there are miracles that come with the absolute miracles that come with the world being the world sometimes. Yeah, you're gonna use all my villagers. Oh, yeah, there. Right. Oh, yeah, it's one of the things of like the issue with even the miracles is that like that even the, sometimes you've got to wait for one. It's one of the reasons why I'm playing Age of Empires right now. It's like, oh, but I know at least I can enjoy myself later on today. It's like even through the bad, I can find a way to at least give myself something to look at positively. The machine of the world has infinite cogs. As a result of that, sometimes things break, sometimes things spark, other times things just go our way and we take it all in stride. Yeah, it's the thing of things will happen. Things, unfortunately, just it's one of the things of like that like it's the play of the world, how I think of it sometimes. That there's that when the negative parts of the story will happen, and but you've got to hope for the happy ending in the end, or at least even if the ending is not necessarily happy, that it's at least resultful, that things will change. There will be another story. You know, and that really does feel like the result of what I'm having to wait for at the end of that. It's like I don't see good things coming out of that specific story, but maybe there's some lessons to be learned. And in the end, as long as I can, and it might not affect me yet, you know, and one day it might, but you know, the literal definition of life, my man, is that things keep happening till they stop happening. Enjoy while things happen, accept bad things will happen, and just enjoy the ride so much you can. Yeah, I do admit sometimes you just really want to get off Mr. Bones' wild ride, though. That's the issue. Oh crap! I have forgotten to build my elephants, which is kind of my entire route strategy. Yeah, I should actually grab all of these castles, give them a shortcut, and put them any place that can defend my rams. Yeah. Once again, like, I know that sometimes you gotta, sometimes you gotta look at the world. Sometimes you gotta look at what's happening to you specifically. One of the things I find interest in the both, you know, for better or worse. Sometimes I think it's
What the heck?
what?
The militia? Look at this! It's like a horde
Holy
militia.
crap! He's building militia. Why is he building militia? Like, this is speaking. Well, this is extreme level difficulty, right? He's not CDAI or anything, is he? Like, yeah, he would say. He's literally building militia. He's got archers! That's fucking tier 1 archers! Ah, he's also built elite chakram throwers, so we know where all of the budget went. I really should do more to destroy this wall. Oh, absolutely. Don't mistake current action for ignorance. You know I've been keeping eyes on the current goings-ons. If we live in that, we have no chance. If we just live in that, we have no chance to go see cool stuff. Yeah, I agree. It's one of the reasons why I'm streaming here, because the cool stuff, I feel like sometimes I need to. Sometimes you need to go looking for the cool stuff, because it seems that the world right now wants to throw the dark in your face, and you can't succumb to it. It's just, you know, it's just that you have to make really concerted effort to not sometimes, you know? Like, yeah. I mean, I think that really is what it is. You know, you gotta look at the you know, swinging. You gotta take it with the 2 grains of salt sometimes. With just sometimes the amazingness of life, and sometimes it's just Mr. Bones' wild ride going on for a little bit too long. Yeah. I am honestly surprised that I am not dead on economy.
Yeah, I feel like I'm being attacked by like all these guys simultaneously.
Yeah. Right, okay. I am retreating, my guys, and I'm going to turn them to go face that huge militia line that you have going on there. Um, for better or for worse, I guess. I really should pop this in. Start. I'll put some things to make the blood in the heart go faster. Of course, you've already built older. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's one thing I will say about my faith journey. It has given me greater appreciation for just the sheer amazingness of just random things, even if it does lead us all to sweating like mad, followed by me buying 3 pints of Iron Brew. Yeah. I can't say anything as I'm currently drinking Fanta that I've popped cans in the fridge because cans cool down quicker. So I've been basically doing the constant round supply of them. But yeah, I'm honestly the same. Like, I know that even if our journeys have been you know, like I'm still very interested in how your journey is going in that, and like through learning more about things, I have found more. Like there is more amazingness in the world that just blows the mind sometimes. That about how just how amazing the world can be, or just how amazing it's not just the world can be, just the random things that happen in it. Every event is a miracle. It's one of the things that you know, one of the things that I remember. You know, specifically. It's also why
I do.
I'm not. I'm trying to talk about things that I remember from. Like that's the thing. Like, the problem is when I usually think about this stuff, I have been right, but I'm not right now. So,
Just checking.
yeah. Because it's one of those things of like it's where you make the internal revelation, right? But you can do that through that, or you can do it through learning. I think saying things that you learn from that are both very valid. But you know, and it's one of the things of like a lot of us talking, like say, like nobody I know, nobody I've known since high school has been Hindu, but the Hindu outlook on life has been one of those things that makes me really appreciate even the smaller things. Every event is just the cogs of the universe turning round. It just got to be like, huh, neat. And yeah, honestly, sometimes you've got to just almost step back and understand the moment, and just the miracle of the moment that you're in, you know. And that does bring me through quite a lot, understanding the moment and the miracle of the moment, because it's honestly been some of the best parts of my life has just been experiencing the moment and understanding the moment of just it's so amazing that we're able to do this even right now, you know.
Yeah.
One of the things is like the amazingness of them, the fact that I'm able to play this game about a historic time period that is technically long gone, um, and the magic it is in the fact that games exist at all, like the the fact that it's crazy that the enemy just sent militia against us as well. And it's like these are all really entertaining things that really add to the story of life, in my opinion. And that's kind of what I try to build my life as. It's going. I want to. I want to. I do want to have really cool stories in life, like really cool things to look back on. I just joined us into a stream and it's already philosophical. London Jack Evangeline. Yeah, it's we got philosophical fast. Yeah, like I you have to allow yourself to enjoy the cool things. The difficulty is allowing yourself that moment. Yeah, yeah. It's one of the things I like. I actually really like philosophical, discussion. I find it really interesting. It's one of those really cool things in the world of like, just being able to sit back, just as we're saying, to exist in the moment and just say, "Wow, look at it," and say, "Neat." I feel like philosophy is that, one of those things of like, "Hey, this," trying to explain what is happening. It's such a human thing, Welcome to Philosophy 101, brought to you by a sad artist, a space conqueror, and a spiritual technologist.
Yeah. I get that.
Yep.
Oh, I wouldn't really say sad artist. No, I'm at the point of sadness with my art that I've not done any art in ages. Both because busy, and also because genuinely like despair from like AI.
Yeah, it's one of the
It
things
gets
of
really, really difficult to actually summon the strength to make art now when I know that people out there can just A, they don't care, B, they can click a button away from it, and I don't know. It's why I went back to more like actual like handmade stuff, like doing
mhm.
actual like embroidery, doing like making my own clothing.
Unfortunately, I can't show you, but Scotland Man has the drip now. He's legitimately been looking at crafts from, like, fashion from older times, and he's been making it, and he's been making it in his style and artistic inspirations, and it's all really cool. He straight up has the drip, you know, and and it's one of those interesting things, and once again, it's you know, oh yeah, don't get me even started on AI. Yeah, like, yeah, oh, yeah, saying AI. AI is another one of those things that, oh, yeah, things that are causing a little bit of despair in the world. I think it's influences right now, and I've thought this for actually a while now, that its influences have been negative long before we came to our modern understanding of AI. Um, I mean, I'm what I would call a luddite, like but I mean that in the thing of like I think that there are levels of this that we are not understanding are already happening to our society. It's not necessarily the technology, but what is happening, what it's doing to the ways that we are thinking, that I think are actually really, really damaging to us already, and have been damaging to us long before we realised, wait a minute, AI is bad. Yeah. Upside is, I do keep seeing people making utterly stunning pieces of handmade artworks. The spark still lives as long as as long as man still breathes. Yeah, I completely agree. Like you cannot take the artist out of the human soul. Like the human soul will persevere no matter what you throw at it. In my opinion, like it's one of those things that's like the issue is that there is now a society trying to make make it so that art has less value, and it makes it less valuable for its so it can produce, right? It's thinking about it that way, right? But there is more to art than just the physical, you know, and I think that
For
that's
me, he has made a lot of monks.
oh jeez, yeah, oh Smeg.
Yeah, the thing for me is, I would say that also it's not even like quality or the idea that you might say people, specifically corporations, would use AI. Although we're seeing it very much. The big issue I have with it is the fact that I hate the term when folks say democratize art because art has always been democratized. You can cavemen made art, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that, yeah.
Uh, the issue I have is that there's so much slop now. Like, a slop is the best word for it, I think.
They were
That
using,
is like,
yeah.
I genuinely fear. My fear is that you'll be overwhelmed. There'll be too much noise. You won't see actual decent art. Good art will be seen as AI art. Like,
I
I
would
mean, you're
say
already
that
seeing
that
it
is
now.
already happening. Some of the,
Yeah, you're already seeing it now.
I actually explore a lot of I explore a lot of art websites. Right, I'm from what I would call the creative part of the internet, at least the old school part of it. Like Newgrounds was one of those art hubs. Right, we did it through animation, we did it through through those kind of mediums, but it was still a medium, right? And I would still say that that cultural part, and that includes like swinging old school 4chan and something awful, where you had some of the craziest things happen, right? You know, so yeah, and I'm so like when I go to modern art places, right? If a lot of places don't allow AI, but the ones that do, it makes it so hard to find budding artists. And it comes worst when I see people drawing comics of AI, in my opinion, because there is the idea of every frame a painting in a movie, right? And I've seen people make some really, really nice looking, and I'm saying that in quotation marks, little action movie scenes with AI, and
Yeah.
and it's like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't have a problem with that. It looks really nice," and then I'm like, "I am a gun nerd. I can look at that gun and say that's not right. That's not historical representation, right?" Which I find interesting as a historian, right? Sure, it's not marketed to me. I can say that, but when it's done in comics, where the little details tell you so much about the story, right? We are losing some of that interestingness from that because people don't want to actually draw it, people want to get it out faster, and I understand speed. I want to draw faster, but it's just you're losing so much with AI. You Not every frame can be a painting with AI because it's just filler at that point. Everything is filler, you know.
I think that's a big problem as well, is that like this is gonna sound really elitist, but genuinely the people who are using AI are not artists.
Oh no, no, I agree. Like I can
Like
call them content creators, not
generic,
artists.
they make generic slop.
Yeah.
Like they don't. I've not yet seen someone use AI in a way that is genuinely made me go, wow, that's something visually different. I've never seen or considered something like that before. Always just, I use the word generic. Because generic is the best term for it.
Oh,
I mean, that might be how the AI is making it, and it might be also how it's learned that data. Um, it also might just be the inputs as well, and the people who go, yeah, that looks nice. When you make something as an artist, you put your love into it. And by that, it's like, A, that sounds so pretentious, but let's actually dissect what that means. You are pursuing something when you're making art. You're looking at things, you're taking your biases and like the things you like and dislike, and you're putting them into it. But your soul sort of goes into it. You don't get that with AI. You get essentially what is corporate marketing speak for appeals to everyone,
I
which means it's so
100% agree. Have
which
you
means
been
it's so
seeing?
bland that it doesn't
ha-
have anything to it.
Have you seen the Highland cow pictures that have been appearing in shops? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like, how much appeal to all that is. It's like, if someone had painted that, we would have said that that was a nice painting. But
The thing is, people used to paint those.
they did, and they looked good.
I quite here's another thing. I quite like them.
Yeah.
when when like they were painted, I quite liked them. Now I can't really support AI things. A, because AI, I just think to myself I can do it myself, and I go to get a service because it's something I can't do. You know, this is one of the things I don't understand about like people who say, "Oh, they're gonna make so much money off of AI." It's like A, you're putting your entire hands in this one corporation. Why the hell would they let you make that much? Why would they not just charge you through the nose with it? Isn't that how economics works?
Hmm. Well, although, yeah, as
Like,
talk, right?
let's say they sell like £100, like I don't know how expensive it is for a monthly subscription or premium or whatever it is for these things, but
Zero.
let's say it starts off as a hmm?
Zero. Nothing. It costs nothing at all. It costs the electricity to generate them. A lot of this is based on open source technology because, quite frankly, the one when they tried to monetize it, the Chinese just made a better one that was open source.
That's true. Well, how
Legit.
long until they start crushing like laws? Because they've already crushed copyright.
Hmm.
Copyright doesn't exist anymore in America. I don't care what people say, it doesn't exist anymore. They literally said they can use training data for books. Doesn't matter the fact you can reconstruct like what 50% of the book total from
Oh God,
prompts.
it's making monkeys and typewriters, man.
Yeah, they
It's
did it with
nice.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. It's nice to see that more people are against all this AI stuff. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I do agree on Trainee to like I'm happy that there's been a public outcry about it. Like at the very least, we have been seeing this. You know, to some extent, the the issue is it's like to me it's like it has like I both like the fact because I agree with it, but the problem with me agreeing with it is that sometimes I do think that like I have seen it go on crusade is when it's something well I would voice it as crusade because I'm a big Toho fan, right? And sure, the AI is not the biggest issue with what's happening in the Toho community right now. Um, but it was one of the things of like, yeah, he's used AI. The problem is that those were originally stock images, right? And it is impossible to sort stock images from AI generated images, especially now, you know. And so I don't blame a man in a different country that doesn't have the culture that is currently so anti-AI for accidentally using AI, you know. But there has been a public outcry that you can't stop because is it better that we just have a public that is so against any use of AI? Because technically, it might be worth it. Is the issue, and that's an honest question I've been asking myself for the last few weeks, and it's also kind of one of the reasons I've been down. It's not the main reason, not the main reason today, but I've kind of been down on a thing if like there are people who are legitimately saying it's like this may be the end of Toho. The other one is copyright, but copyright's a different issue. I've been the copyright's been contentious for a long time, but yeah, it's not good to see something so close to your heart get flack, you know. Um, yeah, it's but at the same time, as Hawkrex just said a while back, the current major problems that we have companies like Palantir doing deals with the UK government. That's stuff that we should worry about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you need AI to write or make art, then that's a skill issue. They need to get over it. Again. They aren't even content creators. They create. They don't create. They prompt an LLM to make the thing. Yeah, it is literally just as if Svegan, you have. It is like a person telling an artist to make the thing, and the artist makes the thing, and them saying I made this. Once again, it's the death of skill. And I think in the death of skill, we are losing the capability of art at its highest degree. It's it's one of the things I'm seeing even with your situation, where it's like you're legitimately losing faith in digital art because digital art is being overcrowded with slop, and that's something that I am against too. Because, as I say, as a person in the total community, if people are making people and once again, community is really anti-AI. We kind of have been. We have been because even since Smegan Toho 18, I believe, where it was actually brought up. But at the same time, it's one of the things that we like. It's it should be a bubble, but it can be used as a tool. And the issue is it's not evolving things. It's not evolving art to a new degree. It's people aren't using AI to write things that would have never been written before, to to write at levels they didn't know before, to learn to write better so that they can use the power of the word to write and to describe something that they've never described before, that they never could in their own words. You know, it's used to replace them needing to think up the words that they needed to describe it. And once again, that's my problem with it. You know, and I don't know how much. Once again, like it sounds just like me being a luddite. I think sometimes, right? Because, and honestly, I'll admit I am a luddite, right? I think that I think AI is the latest in a line of things that have been bad for society. Technological advances that have removed elements of society that I believe that are still necessary unless we have significant reforms to the way that we perceive the way that we want to live our life, honestly. And it's only AI is the only time that I think people have looked at it and saw, yeah, this is a danger to our way of life, and it's the first one. You know, I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. You know, I'm surprised you got more kills than me. Like, I know that. Yeah. Hmm. You definitely got the relic gold. What was your build? I kind of got lost in the philosophy.
Oh, me, I built cannons, gunpowder, mining tunnel to deity
Mm, yeah,
uh, ish, kind of. And then I
yeah,
had the worst. I think I got more kills because literally all three of them sent their armies straight for me at once.
yeah. I will admit, I did see them both sending your way, whereas on my screen I'd only got one army I had to deal with, and I think I destroyed it really quickly. Like I legitimately just marched it into their base, and then just turned away. And then I was like, "Oh crap! I need to build more army." Marched it into their base and turned around and kept looking at whatever the smeg was going on in your base. Hmm. Sorry, just looking at the time compared to the time on Streamlabs, and it's like, oh, an hour passed in game, but only 55 minutes has passed in the stream. Maybe because we play on fast mode or something, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So,
it's so fast. I think I'm gonna head to bed.
yeah, that is fair.
Um,
Like, I don't know if I want to just play another game while I'm up. But either way, um, we should, yeah. I will probably see you next time then, if you want to head to bed. I
oh,
think I'm. Oh,
I will be going on holiday on the Friday, so I'll be away in the up in Perthshire. Basically, just to go to a cottage.
ah, nice,
Um,
nice.
the houses are getting painted, so it's like we decided we'd just go on a little like week holiday and rent a cottage for like a week. It's out by a farm, so it means Alfie gets lots of places to come around. You see some animals. Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly.
I've got a bunch of books that I'm just gonna read through, but I won't be online because I'll be away.
Yeah. 122 says bye Scotland, man.
No problem. Catch you later.
Alright.
See you later, Hawkeye.
Alright.
Good hearing from you again. Bye. Bye.
Alright, bye. Yeah. I am going to. Oh crap. Yeah, like, I'm not sure whether or not I want to just play a somewhat quick game otherwise, because it's like I'm still feel like, it was one of those things with like I enjoy streaming, and when it's at that point, it's like I don't want to just I don't want to stop just yet. Yeah, it's like I'm enjoying this. Yeah, um, Darren, I do have something. Let's see if I've gotten Return to Rome. If I have the if I still have my campaign things going on from there. If I have my campaign data, because it sometimes transfers from like different systems. Like I'm used to using my laptop for it, but yeah. So Sargon of Akkad, I do still have it. Yeah, I'll play another one of these just to finish up.
Having been groomed for rule, Sargon had a natural talent for kingship. He built his new capital of Akkad to the north of Sumer, sending his new subordinates a powerful message. He would not follow the traditions established by past kings. No, this was truly a new beginning. An enormous court soon surrounded Sargon. More than 1,000 servants, priests, scholars, and soldiers populated the king's palace, and they all had to be fed and paid.
Yeah.
Sargon therefore turned his sights on neighboring kingdoms. Once, dominion of Mesopotamia had been the sum of his ambitions, but Sargon had changed. The larger his entourage grew, the more he pushed his old companions away, and the greater the riches he amassed, the greedier the flickering in his eyes seemed to me. He hardly spoke of the goddess of war anymore. He no longer visited her temples, nor offered her sacrifices. It seemed that as his power grew, Sargon forgot to whom he owed his throne. And now, as he rallied his armies to conquer the kingdom of Elam, he tempted her wrath.
We're heading into the more argumentative parts of history here, because like there are with with the way that Sargon did, there are a lot of discussions of whether or not how big his empire was, because you kind of have to have those discussions when a guy proclaims to be king of the universe. You know, how do you how do you know how much a guy really rules if you ask him and he says, "Oh, I'm king of Sumer-Akkad and I'm king of the universe too." You know, we don't know how far he went. We know that he entered the Mediterranean, but you know, the idea that he went that far, but we don't know. We know that he interacted for a lamb at least. Uh, right. So I need to defeat a lamb, and neither Akkad nor the Hurrians maybe defeat. Need. Oh, I've got to defend the Hurrians. Right. Okay. Hmm. Right.
We will send
Uh,
the laborers that you need, but we must keep the Elamite soldiers away from our walls.
well, I can't just build a. Right. Okay. Also need to remember how I play this. So I also forgot this was technically Age of Empires 1. Alright. If I remember right. I don't remember right at all. Not at all. I don't remember smegging anything. Right. Um, right. The Hurrians up there. A CAD down here. And I can't build more. Where's my dudes? Can't even build more dudes. What is it expecting me to do? I don't even remember what speciality is.
Here are the promised tributes, Sargon. We hope that everything is to your satisfaction.
That is enough for now. But continue to deliver resources diligently. Otherwise, I will have to conscript you into military service. And that is not something that you want, correct?
Saying a threat of
Yes,
military
Elamite
service.
soldiers are in our city.
If I remember right. Oh crap. Did my guys just disappear? Where the snake got my guys? Yeah, if I remember right, conscription back then wasn't actually a thing. It was literally just, hey, bunch of guys, have some spears. You know, that's what the lookout did. You know, swinging, of which Sargon was swinging cav kind of. Right.
These villagers will work for you, Sargon.
Oh, good. I do get villagers. Right. Right. Some farms, please. Farm. Right. Yeah, I'm building the right thing, aren't I? Some bowmen. That's what I got. And some armor, I guess. Right. I should also probably scout. The issue is that they're building lots of cav, and one of the things that we were discussing earlier is that cav are actually something that we don't really know how to counter at this point in the game. Because those elephants that they also thingy, they're also usually cav, and you don't have enough things to deal with them.
We have gathered more resources for you, Sargon.
I
These
got
villagers
nothing
will
but
work for you, Sargon.
camelry, camelry. Right, okay, that's gold. Gold is the wrong colour in this version. Right. I'm just building anything I can at this point. If I need to be resource efficient, I should build siege weaponry, surely. They've really made this game a lot more playable to Age of Empires 2
The enemy
players,
is
so
among
yeah,
us. Send soldiers to help us, Your Highness.
that's pretty sus. Uh, oh god, they're being very sus. Oh come on, I got defend from the ocean as well.
villages will work for you, Sargon.
I am at least very glad that they are continuing to give me villagers. Right.
We have gathered more resources for you, Sargon.
Ah, that is another way of me getting any gold at all. That is good.
Help! Elamite soldiers are in our city.
Where? Is it the boat? What am I to do about the boat?
Elam are plundering our lands. Help us, Sargon.
Is there anything I can actually do about that?
Do not shy away from taking what you need, soldiers. Plunder the enemy's homes as you please. None of you will face any consequences for it.
Please do not be angry with us, but we cannot support you properly as long as Elamite warships attack our trade routes.
Why, Sargon? Tell us which resources you require, and we will gather what you need most.
Okay. Tell. Right. Okay. Literally, just food, please. Food, please.
Gold, please.
You need gold. We are sorry, but there are no nearby mines to exploit, so we cannot fulfill this wish.
The response is literally just lol now. Right. Okay. I have an army somewhere. There it is.
The enemy is among us. Send soldiers to help us, Your Highness.
I don't have time for the weird stuff. Right. Yeah, I legit don't have time for them to resource. What is fag?
Soldiers from Elam are plundering our lands. Help us, Sargon.
Is this a good use for my time?
Food supplies. Very well. We will instruct our men to gather more food.
Right, finally destroyed that. That's not good.
These villages will work for you, Sargon.
Can't do anything. Once again, there is not enough anti-cav things in this game. Jeez. Really is nothing here.
Help! Elamite soldiers are in our city.
Right. I'm going to restart this just because I can, because I know what I'm doing now. Once again, you got to scout the enemy, and the scout report at the start really isn't that useful. Not when you're playing on a decent difficulty.
We will send the laborers that you need, but you must keep the Elamite soldiers away from our walls.
Yeah, once again, I don't get to build any villagers, so that's how they stop me being OP, right? Okay, so I've got to destroy that thing. That thing is one of those bits that I think is going to be relatively easy. And I say relatively in very, very much quotation marks here. Crap, I don't have the smithing wood for this. I just need one, Right. Smithing. Right, so there's a thing in the center there. So if I can,
Here
can
are the
I...
promised tributes, Sargon. We hope that everything is to your satisfaction.
That is enough for now. But continue to deliver resources diligently.
Right,
Otherwise,
good.
I will have to conscript you into military service. And that is not something that you want, correct?
I just feel it's so weird for them to go down this little route for Sargon as well. The idea that, okay, we'll just, you know, we'll just... We don't know what happens after this, so we'll just start making things as if the... First, we gotta just consider the idea that he was... that the being king of the universe was Varangia. Let's say as a person who's conquered an amount of the universe, being king of the universe, Sargon was most certainly not king of the entire universe. But to be fair, most of us have gone places where Sargon
Hey,
never did.
Elamite soldiers are in our city. These villagers will work for you, Sargon.
Thank you for the villagers. What's the thing that I need to do? F2, that'll do. I'll do the thing of like, I'll just defend them. Defend
Don't
them.
shy away from taking what you need, soldiers. Plunder the enemy's homes as you please. None of you will face any consequences for it.
There's also just something that from the art of war, I just know that's a very bad idea. Don't let your soldiers just pillage, because pillaging means that they won't forgive you. You know, if you enter the town as liberators, then often people will not get you into more fights once you have finished. Finished fighting them. Give me all the gold. I need all of it. I need more camels. Camels eat some shiny things. Eat all my shiny things.
We have gathered more resources for you, Sargon.
Right, okay. And now I'm sending my guys north, so I'm going to have to hope that in the
The
south
enemy
we
is
got...
among us. Send soldiers to help us, Your Highness. These villagers will work for you, Sargon.
Please do not be angry with us, but we cannot support you properly as long as Elamite warships attack our trade boats.
Jesus. Right, okay. But the issue is when they start attacking the Hurrians up there. That's when things start actually becoming a threat. Ah, that's why I have so many unemployed people. Idle villagers, that's it. Right, okay. Where'd my dudes go? Not exactly in a good position here either. But at the very least, spamming camels does seem to be good against these guys because they build nothing but cavalry. And camels are like the only anti-cab thing I know I can build. Gotta keep beating the lamp.
Help! Elamite soldiers are in our city.
Where? Please mark on map. Yeah, okay. Going siege early on has done me a whole lot of good. I probably wouldn't have been able to bring back the campaign from there otherwise.
We have gathered more resources for you.
Same take. Oh, come on. Svein, there. Svein's spamming that. There's no other... No, there isn't. Right, we can just do that. Oh, they destroyed my... Yeah, they destroyed my siege workshop. Going to my Age of Empires 2 tactic of just padding.
These villagers will work for you, Sargon.
Yeah, okay. That's good to know, but I have no idea what to do with them anymore.
Why, Sargon? Tell us which resources you require, and we will gather what you need. You need more food supplies. Very well. We will instruct our men to gather more food.
There we go. Jeez, we have a lot of those. Maybe I should have built...
The enemy is among us. Send soldiers to help us, Your Highness.
I really should have built...
Soldiers from Elam are plundering our lands. Help us, Sargon.
yeah, storage pit. Build more houses. I really should stop being as reckless as I am with resources, honestly. Right, okay. Still under a little bit of pressure to get things. Right, at the very least, I got dudes.
These villagers will work for you, Sargon.
Protect that stone throwing thingy. I need them protected. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do my Age of Empires 2 strategy. I'm gonna build some towers and hope that those towers can deal with the bolts, because I certainly can't.
More resources for you, Sargon.
They
will no longer find safe haven in this dock.
I think they destroyed it again. They did. I'm out of coin.
Allied soldiers are in our city.
Where?
These villages will work for you, Sargon.
Yeah, they're bolts. I can't deal with bolts. Yeah, I think I legitimately just have to spam this little area for.
Rogan? Yuri?
Right, okay. Please contain gold. I need the gold. Oh man, I have a feeling that what's going to happen. Everything okay? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Is that gold? I think that might be gold. Yeah. I'm trying to.
The enemy is among us. Send soldiers to help us, Your Highness.
Soldiers from Elam are plundering our lands. Help us, Sargon.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
villages will work for you, Sargon.
We have gathered more resources for you, Sargon.
That's a lot of food. I can't do anything about it.
Rogan? Rogan?
Right.
Alamos. Ebotar.
I'm literally stuck here. Okay, yeah, it was actually one of my ones, I think. Oh God, they brought a Svengan army here. Do I have any of my originals left? I don't think I do. Oh. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything about that. Yeah, once again, the issue with running out of gold.
Akkad lies in ruins. Sargon promised to expand his empire, but he could not even defend his people. We are defeated.
Who? What? Why did you? I don't even know what killed me.
Bombus.
Right,
We will send
okay.
the laborers that you need, but you must keep the Elamite soldiers away from our walls.
Alamos. Ebotar. Yuri?
I need to focus down gold production. I don't know what to do about it. Don't want to happen shit, but you can DM me whenever you want. We can chat. I mean, just sort of. Oh, thank you. Thank you, at least. Yeah, thank you for. Yeah. Yeah, I will say it's one of those things of like I don't know whether or not
Help!
I should
The
talk
kingdom is
about
in our city.
the things that have been bothering me on stream because it's like
Alamas.
there are certain, you know,
Alamas.
it's one of those things of like I've sort of grown up around the ideas of drama, right? Jesus, I'm getting absolutely wrecked this thing round. I'm just gonna restart again. Yeah, it's one of the things of like I've grown up around the idea that you know I kind of hate drama amongst people. So like and when you discuss those certain things like Smeagol. Once again, this is not so much a issue of drama as much as it is Smeagol. The the consequences of drama. You know, that's the thing. Like I've always been a person adverse to it. I honestly think that's Megan been the thing that has caused me the most stress in general is just being I can't stand drama. Like it's not even when it concerns me, and and well, I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. I feel like um, I feel like I'm just rambling there because it's one of those things of like that's why I can't say it. But Smeagol right now, just the way that
Here are the promised tributes, Sargon. We hope that everything is to your satisfaction.
That is enough for now. But continue to deliver resources diligently. Otherwise, I will have to conscript you into military service. And that is not something that you want, correct?
yeah, Smeagol that you can keep talking if you want. I think I'm still following, no pressure though. Cool, thank you. It is Smeagol, like as I say, like I'm a person who has been following politics a little bit too closely, and this is one of those things. If I have seen the world manifest itself in that way that I dislike, but I'm seeing its consequences. I'm seeing communication break down amongst people that I genuinely believe should be intelligent enough to have decent conversations with each other, to come to understandings that I believe that they could come down to. And that's occasionally been sabotaged by a simpler narrative of something that is of a more complicated situation going on. And, and it results sometimes in, a loss of, you know, in the political sense, and losses of rights that I consider to be important, or at least crushing of hope that we can do things if a narrative can be so
Don't shy
easily
away from
flipped
taking what you need,
by a
soldier.
person who just
Defend your nation's
seems
homes as you
smart
promised.
enough to know what
None of
they're
you
on
will
about,
face any consequences for it.
and it's
Help!
hard because
Elamite soldiers are in our city.
finding somebody who is intelligent enough is usually the harder part. And it's like if people know each other in person and are willing to talk, I genuinely find that most people come to actually, find that people have more in common than they otherwise would, right? And I feel like half of the world's problems really would be solved if people were willing to have a conversation from the start. But I think that there are bad
We have
actors
gathered
trying
more
to
resources for you.
distract us from that. and I've seen the consequences of it now, you know, and that's the issue that I'm
The energy
having.
will work for you, Sargon.
It's the reflection of society in the mirror that this is just the way things are now, and I don't like it, you know. And I've completely smacked this again. I've done so much left with more here. Yeah, it's one of those things of like I
The enemy is
see.
among us. Send soldiers to help us, Your Highness.
Sometimes I do see genuine good in society, you know, and it's just so easy to manipulate society that it becomes disheartening. There's like the ancients used to argue whether or not people are fundamentally good or if people are fundamentally evil, and I do genuinely believe that we are fundamentally good, right? We want to do good within our hearts, and it's just that it's easy to convince somebody
These villages will work for you, Sargon.
that things are bad. It's why a lot of the narrative nowadays is like the idea that we just shouldn't hate, that hate is one of the easy ways that people have tried to manipulate each other into things. The problem is I don't. This situation isn't even hate. It's legitimately. It's legitimately that modern society can sometimes be tricked by somebody not well, tricked by somebody who's simply louder, and that has its consequences. I really,
We have gathered more resources for you, Sargon.
you know, it's one of those things of I want to, you know, it's it's one of those things of like it's the greatest shame when you see it from somebody it should be smart enough not to, but they are corrupt as
Help!
well,
Element soldiers are in our city.
and I feel like that's once again another one of those things of like you corruption's actually really hard
Tell us which resources you require, and we will gather what you need most.
it's really hard to squash corruption where you see it, it's like um it needs to be something that you are constantly on guard against, and that's not an easy task. And I'm glad that people have found the target, even if the war has already been lost.
We cannot support you properly as long as
And that's
Ela
the
might
thing. I
worship
do
a
think the
Takkar
war is
traitor.
lost because the people still have some hope that it might not be, because and then because there are still pathways, but the problem is that you know the first step of a battle, when a first step of a war has been lost, it becomes a lot harder to recover from. Especially when it's a conversation, you know.
The enemy is among us. Send soldiers to help us, Your Highness.
Man, this is like me skirting around things as much as possible.
Pirate ships will no longer find safe haven in this dock. These villagers will work for you, Sargon.
We have gathered more resources for you, Sargon.
Baghdad lies in ruins. Sargon promised to expand his
What?
empire.
What happened? Why is it destroyed?
We are
What is
defeated.
what is the issue here? Oh, sorry, I'm EP. I can't think of much to say. I think you're doing a pretty good skirting around it, though. I have to admit. Yeah. I feel like I'm skirting around it. But the issue is I feel like I'm not also keeping the conversation engageable. Like, I feel like I'm skirting around it too much to the point where it's like you get the gist of it, and it's only really the
We'll
gist
send the
of it.
laborers that you need, but you must keep the Elamite soldiers away from our walls.
Umbus.
Yeah,
Alamas.
yeah, and eafiness is, yeah. So I understand. Swagging, yeah, it's harder to understand, even especially if you're EP, you know. And I'm getting like that too, you know. It's late in the day. It's almost 1 in the morning. I don't even know if my family is very happy with me making noise at this time of night. but but
Alamas.
I kind of, I'd say, I was having fun. I kind of want extreme, you know,
Help!
to continue.
Elamite soldiers are in our city.
Is it the town centre I need to protect? Once again, they don't ping where the thing is that they're being attacked from. Right.
Here are the promised tributes, Sargon. We hope that everything is to your satisfaction.
That is enough for now. But continue to deliver resources diligently. Otherwise, I will have to conscript you into military service. And that is not something that you want, correct?
Yeah, the sadder thing to me is when you see an honourable person take, you know, an honourable person lose for playing the honourable way, and that's one of those things. If it's a person who will who would rather lose honourably than fight dirty. It's one of those things. It's the most disheartening thing. So I wouldn't call it filch either. As well as another thing. I liked online. Some people do say that, but yeah, we do as we do.
These villagers will work for you, Sargon.
Right. Okay. I keep pressing the wrong tab. May as well grab as much of this as I can before I inevitably lose it.
The enemy is among us. Send soldiers to help us, Your Highness.
I honestly don't know where they're saying that is the thing. And they've just left this. I have just wasted 180 smegging gold for this.
gathered more resources for you, Sargon.
Oh, for snake's sake, right, that's what
Will
happened.
work for you, Sargon.
All the villagers are replacing my other dead villagers. Problem is, I need to micro every little bit of this.
Elamite soldiers are in our city.
Yeah, I would like it if you told me where those Elamite soldiers were. Right. Okay. At the very least.
Don't shy away from taking what you need, soldiers. Plunder the enemy's homes as you please. None of you will face any consequences for it.
These villagers will work for you, Sargon.
Maybe it's somewhat ironic that I'm playing brutal conquest while talking about how I'm annoyed that people have less honor. Fair. Maybe I'm just gaming, you know.
We have gathered more resources for you, Sargon.
The enemy is among us. Send soldiers to help us, Your Highness.
God, I'm gonna get wrecked again. Yep, and I've just lost a ton of resources again. So I can't do anything without good siege, and I can't get good siege.
These villagers will work for you, Sargon.
Why, Sargon? Tell us which resources you require, and we will gather what you need most.
Please do not be angry with us, but we cannot support you properly as long as Elamite warships attack our trade boats.
Right, if I just target my strikes, it should be good. Oh,
Help! Elamite soldiers are in our city.
ah, okay, nah, they're just killing my everything. I'm just going to get a random game over here, I'm sure.
These villages will work for you, Sargon.
We have gathered more resources for you, Sargon.
Oh crap. No, I'm snide. Oh god, the north is down. Yeah, nah, I've snide it. Honestly, I think unfortunately it's getting a bit late. You can probably tell that
The ships will no longer find safe haven in this dock.
in my own snagging thing, so I will try this level again soon. But for now, I think I'm going to end the stream here. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. I've been a listeners, and I will. I'm actually going to see. Like, I'm going to double check if I can. Like, because once again, I'm not one that knows Twitch culture so much. So, like, I'm just wondering if I'm able to swing and. Nope, I don't know how to. Oh well. I was going to see if I can thingy, but the raid, but I actually literally don't know how to do that. So I will find out another day, hopefully. Other than that, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. I will see you guys next time. Onwards!